They were hitting 520 in that first set, which is a ridiculous number. So watch for them to get off to a hot start here tonight.
Nebraska was 33-3 a year ago. They lost in the NCAA semifinal to 17. We'll talk more, obviously, throughout this match about what's coming this weekend for both Lipscomb and for Nebraska. We're ready for first serve here as Kinsey Cook will serve things up for the Bisons. And just like that, it's going to be swung on and hit by Nebraska. First point. Nice little tip shot there as they played the dig nicely, but a nice little tip shot. And one thing I'm sure we'll talk about all night long, Tyler, is the size of Nebraska.
Definitely. They're a super tall team. Not going to be able to go through them very much if you're Lipscomb hitting.
Lenny Choboy with the serve. Back row attack. Nice dig by Choboy after that serve. One thing you'll notice, again, the size disparity, but Lipscomb, they don't mind being undersized. They like the quick pace of a game, and they use their quickness to their advantage, but the problem is that one tipped off the block. The Cornhuskers will reset. Kept alive momentarily. 6-5 will serve again. Nice swing from Corator Kyle. Overpass, chance for the Bisons, and they'll get the point. Another good serve, handled nicely. Nice transition play that time. You can't draw that up any nice. And a nice swing, even on an out-of-systems. Tight set that time by Sophia Hudapol, but
we're hot now, guys. Okay, it was a very calm huddle over there with Coach Rosenthal. His message to the team was go back at them. He said, you knew they were going to hit hard, come at you. Don't be afraid to go back at them.
Yeah, that's only the second service error on the young season for Harper Murray. You can see how she can just rattle off points from the service line like she did there.
Berkeley Mischler to serve. She's taking over a much bigger role this year for the Bisons after decorated Lipscomb middle blocker Meg Mersman graduated, holds the all-time record for blocks.
Quick play out of the middle back position when Jones is in the back row. They just couldn't connect there. Jones' swing just went a little long.
Nice block solo in the middle. Nebraska will reload. Get on that watch list, and she's on that. Corator Kyle now to serve for the Bisons. This Lipscomb team that's heavy on seniors. And
had a meeting with him, finding that perfect balance of not serving overly aggressive where you're missing every time, but and being more creative when she's setting.
Lipscomb gets these type of opportunities. They've never gotten one against the #1 team. This is a situation where Lipscomb has played against top 25 teams, but never to the notoriety of the #1 team in the country and notoriety of the #1 team in the country in Nebraska, as that one's going to be in, and Lipscomb will get the point out of the timeout. During that timeout, Lyndon Blake was able to listen in a little bit to the Nebraska huddle. Lyndon, I would assume that that was a little bit more of just stay the course right now, pleased with the way Nebraska's played so far to start set #1.
Yeah, Danny, get to see some football and see that Broadway block party. She also said, though, that this match is going to be such a...
Taylor Swift were there. That was some of the big highlights. I turned that game on a little bit because everybody excited about college football being back, but college volleyball with Nebraska is just as exciting.
The 19 that Nebraska scored against you to make that second set all that much closer. Play your own game like Coach Rosenthal likes to preach to his players.
Choboy with the serve for Nebraska. I think that, and she seems to have been, you know, taking that natural trajectory. She's played ever since she was a freshman, but every year she love invite that Lipscomb has every year. Love, what does that stand for? LUV, Lipscomb University Volleyball, kind of the mantra for this Lipscomb team. Is that one nicely Hudapol, nice set that time. Kept alive though, and again
they can get their hands up and make good contact on it, especially at the speed Nebraska plays, because they're typically up faster.
Set point here for the Cornhuskers. Tips it off the net. Lipscomb keeps it alive, out of system, chance to finish him off for Nebraska, and they do. Great serve by the Bisons and an ace. 6'1" grad student transferred from San Jose State. Another good serve, but played nicely by Nebraska. And the Cornhuskers take down the Bisons easily in set number one, 25-13. Lipscomb has played 7 matches all time against top 25 teams inside Allen Arena. They're 1-6. The only win Lipscomb's at 2017. Lipscomb took down then number 24 Arizona in Lipscomb's Division I history. 5 kills, Rebecca Alec 4 kills, Lipscomb with 3, but to me, hitting percentage, Nebraska was lights out. 444 hitting percentage, Lipscomb under 100. Really just couldn't get on track with their serve. In opponent hitting percentage, they held opponents to 143 last year. So, I mean, you think about that number.
This Nebraska team, but everyone on their team can pass well. It's not just the libero position.
Tip shot there. Lipscomb committing so much to the block. There's that gap there. Nebraska to even up the point. You know, you look at Nebraska historically, and especially last year, they hold Lipscomb to under 100 hitting. Last year, they were ranked 6th in the nation in opponent hitting percentage. They held opponents to 143 last year. So, tip shot there. Lipscomb committing so much to the block. There's that gap there. Nice shot there as Lipscomb. Much better response and start for the Bisons here in set 2 than they had in set 1, Tyler.
Definitely. Berkeley Mishler already with 2 kills here in this set for the Bisons. 2 of their 3 points have come.
182 kills a year ago for Berkeley Mishler. They look for her to take a big step up. She's the all-time leader in blocks in the history of Lipscomb volleyball. In the net.
They love to serve aggressive. Those ones hurt when you're up by a point and then you give the serve right back over to such a good serving team in Nebraska.
Back row attack by Jones. Great dig by Nebraska. And just like that, Cord Turkile, another Bison player who Lipscomb Coach Rosenthal expects to take an expanded role.
Now they're having to extend their arms to either side, which makes the passing angle so much more difficult rather than when you're square to the ball.
What a save by Harper, and that one's going to be in now for the Bisons.
Freshman from McKinney, Texas, makes her first appearance for the Bisons.
Coach Rosenthal very super impressed with the way his freshmen seemed to almost immediately acclimate to the college game, and really excited to. You know, this is an atmosphere. This Allen Arena holds a little more than 5,000 fans in here. I think last count I remember a little over 5,000. This place is almost packed out. Well, that's old hat for Nebraska. It is not old hat for Lipscomb. They do not play environment, even in their home court, that Lipscomb had to step into. You wonder if they've settled down just a little bit here in set 2.
Yeah, they seem to be playing a lot more free than they were in set 1, just playing volleyball rather than playing against Nebraska.
Son this year, preseason first teamer as well.
Yeah, when we talked with Coach Rosenthal, he talked how almost all of his teams in the past have had 2 captains on them, and he knew Hootapole was going to be one of them, but throughout the preseason, he kind of was trying to see who would step into that second one, and then he got to the point where he said, kidding with her teammates.
5'8" senior from Cincinnati, Ohio is Hootapole. Successful for the Louisville Cardinal, but Nebraska, but bright things ahead, obviously, for Nebraska under Coach Danny Busboom Kelly. After the timeout, Nebraska picking up another point, and that's going to be
playing disciplined, and this is not our standard, that last stretch there. So she encouraged her teammates to play to that Lipscomb standard.
There by Jones, kept alive for the Bisons. Andy Jackson to serve for the Cornhuskers. That's the #1 team in the country, Nebraska.
Yeah, great moment for her right there.
Tight set. Kelsey Shank, sophomore from Overland Park, Kansas, serving, and point to the Cornhuskers there. Lipscomb and Lincoln, Nebraska. Brooklyn Fuchs is a Lincoln, Nebraska native, but you look down the roster of Nebraska. I think Nebraska well served, because the other thing too, I think for Nebraska, you're always looking to little slide attack, and information heading into that set 3 of what Lipscomb's mindset is. As there's a service error. Probably 15, 20 years ago. It has become a worldwide phenomenon as
Prince was running around on his lady. So the lady wanted to make the chicken really hot to make him mad.
Lipscomb, and she'll get an ace. That one will go just long, and Nebraska will get the win. Lipscomb will serve things up to start set number 3 as
Lady Showboy serving.
Showboy, who's had a good night at the service line for Nebraska.
This nice big crowd here in Allen Arena, and I was talking to some Nebraska fans, and they've been coming to Nashville since the 80s. This fan has.
Quite frankly, it is exploding, and it has exploded. And just my own personal experience, what's really special to me is that Broadway block party. Such to separate themselves. We'll see if Lipscomb can change that. We talk about the history and the program that is Nebraska, for fans that they have built in Lincoln, Nebraska. Great set by Flynn to keep that off the net. Jones. Longest rally I think we've had in this match.
California's so rich in volleyball talent. Men's volleyball is very big out there in Southern California as well.
Joust at the net, kept alive. Another long rally though here. Great slide attack by Sydney Stringer, and Stringer got a touch on the block. Jones had to redirect in the air there. The best probably Lipscomb has been hanging with Nebraska in all 3 of the sets. Jones with 5 kills apiece to lead the way for the Bisons. Lipscomb still hitting under 100 in this set and under 100 for the match. Three, 4 points in a row, and if you take just a second off, you're going to find yourself down by 4 or 5 points, and that's where Lipscomb is right now.
A back burner role in this one. She's been on the bench just watching while Reyes is the one being super vocal over there for the Huskers.
Coordinating everything, but a lot of these assistants, they do a lot of the hard work, really getting the team ready for the specific opponents.
Dangerous back at the service line.
Lipscomb, high expectations in the A-Sun. Preseason pick #1 in the conference. Of course, if you're not familiar with the A-Sun, Lipscomb a perennial power in the A-Sun every single year. Probably the two teams that are probably the two that for the most recently have kind of battled it out has been Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast getting back row attack. Kept alive by Lipscomb on the overpass. Nebraska not going to play around with that back line. Kept it going. Here's a long rally for this one in the third set. Back row attack in a good way. Skylar Pierce. A little joust at the net and over the Bisons.
Yeah, it was definitely a consequential challenge there. Back-to-back challenges, really. There were two calls that went against the Bisons from the video replay system, and those really killed the Bisons' momentum after getting off to a hot start. You mentioned it. It would have been 7-7, ended up 8-6, and then
with the serve for Lipscomb. That one punched long that time by Durham. That one's going to be...
learn more from this match than any other match this season, I guarantee it. Playing the best team in the country, and Coach Rosenthal has had a smile on his face for a majority of this third set.
This is not the first time a Lipscomb team has played a #1 team in the country. Lipscomb, actually, as a university, almost 8 years to the day later, they beat #1 Vanderbilt again at home 3-1. So, and that'll do it. The Cornhuskers put the exclamation point on the Bisons. They take down Lipscomb 3-0 here in Allen Arena. Here tonight as the Cornhuskers travel well and the #1 team in the country stays unbeaten as they take down Lipscomb 3-0. We'll take a brief time.